Right now at noon, this weekend's qualifying at IMS ended with some post-qualification violations. Which teams were moved to the back row for next weekend's race and what one team owner says about it.
And storms arriving in western Indiana on schedule. Severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 6 p.m. We'll go through the hour by hour what to expect this afternoon in the forecast.
And one mother is raising concerns over an Uber ride to school gone wrong. Her disturbing claims and what Uber is now saying about it. It is picture day at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway as IndyCar drivers get ready to hit the track for practice later this afternoon. You can see all those smiles and poses right there. This is a tradition at IMS after qualifying. You got the 3 front row cars and drivers and the pole winner. We're going to have more on the qualifying and pole winner coming up in just a few minutes. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us here at noon on a Monday. I'm Dustin Grove with meteorologist Sean Ash. We want to start with weather because this is a weather impact alert day, and you've got storms already on the way in.
Yeah, they're already in western Indiana, metro area, fair game by 2, likely by 3, and it is going to be a wet and stormy finish. We will have some warnings. I will start off letting you know the more violent setup, Dustin, is way west of us, and I'll have more on that in a little bit. With that all said, impactful thunderstorms because we're going to have a bunch of lightning, heavy rain. Some of the storms will have 70-mile-per-hour gusts. Some isolated 1.5 inch hail. Some rotation is possible. Cannot rule out a few tornadoes. This is the severe thunderstorm watch. It may be expanded later today farther south. Here's the radar right now. Again, this was fully expected. Between noon and 1 is when we were thinking in western Indiana. I've got them moving at about 25 miles per hour toward the northeast. So that would get it in Monticello here a little more than an hour. And in Frankfort in about 2 hours if they hold on that pace here. All right. What are we talking about? Well, right now, these are not technically severe, but certainly we'll have downpours and lightning. They have been severe back to the west. We've had some reports of uprooted trees, and you can see some numerous reports of tree damage from earlier. In addition to the wind threat, flooding is going to be a big concern here, especially along the I-70 corridor as this thing goes all the way back into Missouri. And we're going to have some areas, I believe, that will get over 2.5 to 3 inches of rain. Here's Future Track 13. There you go. 3 o'clock. It is going to be stormy around the metro. That means the tail end of practice at the Motor Speedway could be impacted. This is the first chance of severe weather. Tomorrow will be the second. I'll have that in the rest of the race week forecast ahead in a few minutes.
Okay, see you then, Sean. Thank you. New this afternoon, a man has been arrested following a shooting at an Anderson apartment complex. It happened around 10 o'clock Sunday morning on Oak Lawn Drive. Police were called to a hospital after a 27-year-old man came in with a gunshot wound. Officers say they've arrested another 27-year-old man at the apartment complex. The victim is expected to survive. We're also learning that a 48-year-old woman has died following a stabbing on Indy's southwest side. A man was also killed with 2 others and a dog seriously hurt in that incident. It happened last Tuesday along South Lockburn Street near Kentucky Avenue. Police found 2 women and a man outside the home stabbed. All 3 were taken to the hospital in critical condition. One of the women, Angela Mitchell, died Saturday. 19-year-old Hayden DeVere de los Santos was found dead inside the home along with the dog. Police say they believe he died from a self-inflicted injury. A mom says her 12-year-old son was in an Uber heading to school but ended up across town instead. She says the driver canceled the ride and then drove to Fountain Square. Geraldine Alexander says her son's school bus never showed up, so using Uber for Teens, she booked him a ride. It all seemed fine until the ride was canceled. Alexander says she checked her son's AirTag location and he wasn't near the school at all. In fact, he was about 10 miles away in the opposite direction. She says the Uber driver claimed the wrong address was given for the ride and that he didn't even match the profile photo on the account. Alexander called 911. That's when the driver let her son go, she says, and then drove away. We reached out to Uber. They say they have a team of safety experts working around the clock to respond to incidents and said, quote, "We're alarmed by what's been described. We can't imagine how terrifying this experience must have been and are continuing to look into this report. We stand ready to assist the police with their investigation." A central Indiana community is honoring the life of Captain Seth Koval. He was among 6 airmen killed back in March when a refueling jet crashed in Iraq. Mooresville held a ceremony for Koval and his family. People filled Mooresville High School to pay their respects. Koval's family and his commanding officers shared memories of their time together.
Seth was so many things to so many people, but the 3 most important things about Seth were that Jesus Christ was his Lord and Savior. He was a devoted father and husband, and he was an incredible aviator. Over the past 2 months, I have received numerous messages, had heartfelt conversations, and have read many social media posts about Seth, the man he was, the life he lived, and the impact he made on those around him.
Yeah, clearly a big impact. The Mooresville Town Council also unveiled a street named in Seth's honor. This was one of many ways his legacy will live on. The clock is ticking on a potential recount in at least one key race from Indiana's primary election. We're talking about Senate District 23, where incumbent Republican State Senator Spencer Deary leads by just 2 votes. Candidates have until noon tomorrow to ask for a recount. If that happens, Indiana's State Recount Commission will have the final say on any ballots that are challenged during the recount process. Secretary of State Diego Morales is chair of the 3-member bipartisan committee. He's faced questions from some Democrats about his ability to stay impartial during the recount process because of his support last year for redistricting. According to state law, Morales is called to be the chair of the Recount Commission. Almost time. The 110th running of the Indy 500 is now just 6 days away. The green flag drops Sunday, and Alex Palou is starting his quest to repeat as the Indy 500 champion from the front of the pack. He earned the pole position during qualifying this weekend. He's the only starter in the 33-car grid with a qualifying average over 232 miles an hour. Alexander Rossi and David Malukas joined him on the front row for Sunday's sold-out race. Palou is hoping to become the 7th driver in race history to win back-to-back Indy 500s. He says qualifying is just as important as race day. Our Dominic Miranda has an in-depth look at qualifying, including more from his one-on-one with the current Indy 500 champ. And you can find that streaming on demand right now. We've got it at WTHR+. 2 drivers are moving to the back of the pack for post-qualification violations. That's after IndyCar announced their cars had modifications that were not allowed. Caio Collet, a rookie who made it into the top 12, will now start in the last row. So will Jack Harvey of Dreyer and Reinbold Racing. We got a statement from them this morning. It says, in part, Dreyer and Reinbold Racing did not intend to achieve a performance gain through the use of unapproved hardware. We apologize to Jack Harvey, our valued sponsor partners, and fully accept the penalties set forth by the IndyCar Series. Once race week wraps up, the celebrations in Speedway will not. A big birthday is coming up. The town's celebrating 100 years. Back in 1926, the founders wanted to make Speedway a horseless town. A big move behind that is the birth of factories like Allison Transmission and Lind. These photos are of Old Main Street, 16th Street, and the businesses around there. Now fast forward to today. The town is home to over 14,000. It has its own government, police force, school district, local businesses, and of course you can't forget about the 500 and the Speedway. Those with the Centennial Committee say celebrating 100 is just the beginning. There are so many exciting things planned for that town as well, and we've got more details right now. You can check them all out at WTHR.com.